Hello, hello, and welcome. We have got an upper body workout today. It's going to be 30 minutes, no repeat. We have got a pull circuit, and then it's not really a circuit because we only do it once. And then a push section. So in between, get your water break, and warm up and cool down are included. So we're going to get started straight up with our warm up. So we're going to do some arm circles to get started, get that upper body activated, those muscles engaged, just the blood flowing through all of it, you know? Oh, I can hear it all. Just rotating as and when I feel like it. Okay, we are going to switch to some rotations, contra body rotations. I don't know, I'm just coming up with words at this point. Like, I don't really know what to call half of these names. So, you know, we just, oh, wow, balance. We're just doing whatever. We're calling it whatever. Okay, let's move on to some inchworms. We're just going to walk out our hands. Stay in that plank position, pushed up to a downward dog, back to the plank, and then let's walk our hands up. We're going to do that 2 more times. Downward dog, and then back. Last time. I should also mention that I have got set up 15-pound weights today, which is 7.5 kg. I was thinking about the fact that I'm also going to have some just little weights as well for some of those other movements where you're just not able to lift as heavy. So that's more like the things like the flies. So that's what those are for. All you're going to need is a mat, some weight, and then let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start off with some hammer curls. So go ahead and grab your weights. So this is where we're keeping it in the sort of neutral front position. And we're going to just pull up with our biceps. Let's go. Let's go. Making sure in all of this to keep your core engaged. I heard someone on the internet, I wish I knew who it was, honestly, I would totally quote them directly, but you know how it is when you're just scrolling and you don't know who you've watched at this point. But they were saying about instead of using the term belly button to spine, which is okay, but it just doesn't quite get it because most people just suck in their core instead of activating their core. Next up, we're going to do upright row. And so instead, you want to think about lifting up, like extending your midsection, and then zipping it up from the bottom. So that helps to, if that at all helps, to think about how to engage that core properly, making sure it's activated. It's a strong foundation for us to do the rest. Oh, these are going. Also, the heat just turned on and it's really hot. Okay, good. Next up, we have upright flies. So I have those 2-pound weights. not 2 pounds, sorry, 2.5 kilos, which is about 5 pounds. So let's do them. Upright flies. So quite long sections because we have 45 seconds and then 15 seconds rest. So not loads of rest time, quite a long active time. If you need to take breaks, go ahead and take them, just get straight back into it. See, exercises like this, because I use these instead of like an actual dumbbell, I find it kind of challenging to hold it. So it's mainly adjustments because I have quite small hands. So you have to make it work. Next up, we have a reverse grip curl. This is working a slightly different part of both our forearm and our bicep. So we're going to just reverse grip it like this, keeping it facing sort of the floor. Oh my goodness, why is this all feeling so heavy today? My goodness. It's like some days you do stuff and you're like, oh, this is really easy. And then other days you do the same weight and you're like, why is this feeling so challenging? And today is one of the second days. Like, I don't know why this usual stuff is feeling, but we've got this. Gosh. Okay, next up we have bent over rows. These ones should be quite a lot easier. I usually need a heavier weight for these, but because we are doing a time crunch and I don't have easily adjustable dumbbells, I'm just going to use what I've got. So getting that bent over position, keeping that core engaged, and we're going to pull up our hands towards our back pocket. So really engaging those lats. So our back really engaged here. Keeping a strong core throughout the entire time. I'm going to start sweating soon because, as I say, this heat has kicked on and it is really kicked on. Whew. Let's go. Nice. Good. Okay, we're going to do bent over Y raise next. So hopefully we're going to be able to do it with these. So back into that bent over position, and we're going to have our hands in a Y position, and we're going to raise up our hands. So making sure to keep that core engaged. I know I said that about like 50 times. If I could be bothered in editing to add a bingo counter, I would, but I don't think I can. I don't think I could be bothered to do that. So if you want to count for me how many times I said keep your core engaged, you can go ahead and tell me in the comments. Let's go. Really feel back engaged. Good. You know, I don't work out with my glasses, and for some reason I've started writing on the board really small, so it's really hard to see what it is I'm doing next. We're doing cross body curls, so we're going to come up and really pull it all the way across your chest. So your chest is getting part of this workout, and like all the way through. Oh, hitting my mic. Through that side. So coming across, sort of in the same hammer curl position, but bringing it across your body. Really try and control that motion. If it's too heavy for you to control that motion, drop down weight. It's better to get good form and good range of motion than to have reduced range of motion and bad form. So upright snow angels next. This is totally not something you would usually call it, but basically we're just going to bring it all the way up, like so. Kind of like you're doing a snow angel. This is just my description, so I knew what I was talking about. Let's go. Love having a good upper body day. I always feel so strong afterwards, and then I see my arms, and I'm like, oh, getting defined, getting stronger. Make sure you're hitting your protein so that you can get good recovery involved. Honestly, like all this talk about hitting your protein goals, I don't think I ever actually hit my protein goals, but I do try and increase my protein intake. And since I've increased my protein intake, I've definitely seen better definition. Next up, bent over fly. So in that bent over position again, and we're gonna do a fly. So I encourage you, there's only so much you can do in a workout. You cannot out-train a bad diet. But what exercise can help you do is get stronger. And also I find the endorphins and everything that you get from exercise can encourage you to improve your diet, because you're like, I've done all this hard work, and if you're not seeing any results, what's going on in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know that you've not really done the work in the kitchen, that's probably why. Next up, we're gonna get onto the mat, and we're gonna do a dorsal raise. So front raise, like so. So just come up, pull, and then release. I think my mic is definitely getting hit every time. And breathe through it. If you can have your hands up all the way out, that's going to make it harder. Easier is bringing them closer. And we're really aiming to lift that chest up off the mat. Okay. And release. And if you want to take your rest on the mat, you totally can. But it is time for our water break before we jump into our next set, which is our push. So this is going to need more on the mat, significantly more. So if you don't have a mat, maybe grab a towel, something like that. You can do it on the floor as well, that's fine. Anyways, enjoy your water break. Okay, first up we have a military press. So it's going to work our shoulders. And grab our weight. And have palms facing out. And we're going to push up. Any sort of overhead motion is really important to have that core, engaged and stabilized. So you're not just doing it anyhow. That's how you're going to cause problems in your back, different aspects of your body. And making sure in these shoulder movements, you're not moving your shoulder in a plane of motion that is unnatural. Oh my goodness. You know what I said about being really, really difficult today? Gosh, what is going on? We're going to lay down for the next one. It's chest press. So if you have a bench, you can totally do it on the bench. Man, I've got to the point that I'm genuinely wondering if my weights have changed. What is going on? What is this? push out of that chest. Let's go. Oh man, from this position, I can't see my timer. I have to wait for the beeps. Oh my goodness. Hope it's soon. Oh my goodness, why is this so challenging? That's good. Tricep extension is next. Definitely going to use the lighter weight for that. So, one each hand. We're going to bend over. We're going to do a kick it back. I don't think that's what I meant when I wrote this originally, but this also works for triceps, so we're doing this. But we have skull crushers coming up, so I don't think I meant anything else. I'm not sure. I really could not tell you what I was thinking when I was doing it. Let's go. Nice. I like to really pull at that top. I don't know, mate. If that was what I was trying to plan for or not. Chest flies are next, so this is back on the mat. And we're going to do a fly. Have I got enough space? I think I do. Not quite. Let me just move that slightly. Yeah, that's better. And the slower you go with these movements, the more you're going to really feel it across that chest. Really going to have to feel those muscles engaging and working hard. Obviously, we are not doing like separating it as much as, if you really want to see big progress in your upper body, you're going to have to do these pull and push days separate and really like repeat the movements. Next up, we have skull crushers. So I'm just going to take one. I'm going to pull it behind my head and we're going to lift it up. Hopefully this ankle, you can see what's going on. What we're doing is really just trying to get some strength in all parts of our upper body, but we're not going to see massive gains in this sort of system of doing it. You would really need to go harder, do more repetition on particular muscles. Oh my goodness. But you're still going to see progress, don't get me wrong. And I know a lot of girls have hang-ups about not wanting to be too bulky up top. And so this is really not going to get you too bulky. Next up, press-ups. Are we going to get 45 seconds? Yo, no, not even. I'm going to do my knee ones. Have all those cues, like corkscrewing your hands out. I have to remember to put my gaze slightly ahead of me so that my neck stays neutral. Otherwise, I just like look underneath me and it's like really weird. So, yeah. Let's go. Corkscrew, screw, motion. Ooh. Okay, we're staying on the mat. We're doing side press ups. First on one side, and then we're gonna switch sides. Just trying to move them a little bit out of the way. That made it worse. Okay, so you're going to lay down, and then you're going to push up with that hand. It's okay if your lower body is moving a little bit. but you're really not trying to add too much weight on the outstretched arm. Talking about an outstretched arm. What a segue into that. God's love is like an outstretched arm. He's just waiting. He's given us everything that we could ever need. It's like an outstretched arm. Like he's there. Switch sides. And he just wants to have a relationship with us. He said, all you have to do is just take it. That's it. Simple, 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 simple. Whew. I thought I was going to talk about something else, but I guess the outstretched arm was where we got to with this. Oh man. Today, this feels really difficult. And I guess that's much like life. Oh, there we go. Different segue. But some days, everything feels like it's going well. It's easy. You feel like you're making progress. And then other days, you can do the same thing and it feels really difficult. And everything is like not quite working the way you expected it to. And it can be frustrating. It can be all sorts of difficult. But you have God in your life and you have the Holy Spirit. He is there to help you and guide you through every step. Sometimes the main reason that things are not working well is because you've not asked the person that knows what to do. And that's the Holy Spirit. Okay, we're going to do scapular press ups. So if you need to be on your knees, you can. So here we're just literally, it's a tiny range of motion and you're dipping your scapula together. So just basically like, it's like your arms, keeping a straight arm and then folding your shoulders in and then out. It's a really small range of motion. Okay, nice. And then that. It's this one. And for some reason, my brain has not remembered the official name of this thing. But this is what we're going to do. So you're going to go on your back like this, and then you're going to push up. So basically pushing through those elbows. Man, I don't know what the name of this thing is. I know it, but it's just like, I don't know why it's not coming to me today. But there we are. Let's go. This is the last exercise. This is the last one. We can do this. We can do this. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Man, honestly, whatever gets you through, there's a silly little song to yourself, whatever it is, just you gotta do it, you know what I'm saying? Okay, that is our work time done. And so now we're gonna do a nice cool down and stretch. So we're gonna stay on a mat and just breathe to begin with. It's a good place to start. Just breathe. Just breathe. Okay, so we're gonna do a mermaid stretch to begin with. So we're going to go to one side. Oh yeah, I can feel that all down my side. Well, I considered putting music into my workouts, but I figure you can just put music in the background, then you don't have to put on whatever I choose. You can do whatever you want. Whatever it is that gets you going, you know? I personally just like working in silence most of the time. I like being with my thoughts, as you can tell, because I just yap on. I mean, some days I have a lot more going on up there than other days. Some days I'm just yap. Other days it's a little more content. But just like to be with my thoughts. So I spoke about diet a little bit earlier, what you do in the kitchen. So we're going to stretch out with our hands like this. But, one thing that I would say is the best diet is the one that you can stick to. Don't be thinking about what's a good and a bad food. Just thinking about like, how can you eat generally well? Eating whole foods, clean, like you're eating, meat, dairy, like clean sources of this stuff. Lots of vegetables. That's great for fiber and things. Grains like beans and stuff like that. You kind of generally know what you should and shouldn't be eating. And then keeping other things like sugary stuff in moderation. I'm not saying don't eat it. And that's the reason I say the best diet is the one that you can stick to. We're going to move on to child's pose. Great resource is the Plant Slant on YouTube. I see a lot of his shorts and stuff. He has quite fun content and generally pretty good. I personally disagree with some of the chemical information where he's like says about like he's fine with like eating like bleached foods, and honestly I'm just not. I am a chemist, and also just think, so it's not like I hear what they say with some of the science and I'm just like, I just can't get on board with it. I just can't. Like if you eat poison consistently like every day, and you're trying to tell me that it's not going to affect you, I mean, yeah, maybe if you have it like once, then it's not going to affect you in a small moderation. But then like if you're eating it consistently like every day or so, then it's probably going to affect you. So anyways, that's like sort of the stuff that I tend to disagree with. But in terms of like artificial sweeteners, that stuff is fine. Like aspartame is literally just two amino acids joined together. It's like, I don't know why they've tried to make it out like it's terrible. If you didn't know, amino acids are what literally makes up your body. And everything you eat has amino acids in it. So what makes up proteins. And so it's fine. It's really fine. If you want to have a Diet Coke, it's probably a better option than a full sugar Coke. If you drink it a lot, my husband's really trying to lose, be on a calorie deficit, and like he's like, I don't drink my calories. He's really become adamant on that. I don't drink my calories. So just making sure you're aware of those things, making good decisions, and don't like demonize food, because the more you think, oh, this one's really bad for me, I shouldn't be eating it, then the more you're probably going to crave it, and then you're going to binge on it. And so just eat the good stuff to fill you up. And then, I also saw something is like, eat what you like, add what you need. And so it was like, you need like protein. Okay, great. Have your protein, but maybe add something you like, chocolate chips. I don't know. Obviously not to meat. I'm thinking like yogurt, Greek yogurt, or cottage cheese. I don't know. I don't eat cottage cheese like that. Anyways, have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you next time. We're gonna do a good one on our legs. Is that next? Yeah, I think that's next. And so make sure to join for that. Really get those legs moving, get those legs working. So hope to see you then. Until then, God bless you, and I love you.